throw your backpack on your... Remember that feeling when you first started playing World of Warcraft? You'd race home from school, throw your backpack on your bed, get on the computer, sit down, and... cinema. Now, regardless of when you started playing, we've all had that feeling of not knowing what's
Alright, I didn't turn on my audio. Let's restart. So, that's why I'm testing this stuff. Let me go back. And why is that not popping up? Alright. Well, that sucks. Well, my chat's not popping up on here where I can actually see it. So that's fun. I probably shouldn't put it on this monitor because you can see it. But over here it's really tiny. But I just can't even see the chat. Nice. Can you hear the mic now? What is max confusion? Okay, cool. That's on YouTube. Yeah, my chat's not coming up on here, so I guess I'll just fix that at a later point. Okay. So they have this Classic Plus survey, and I have ideas about Classic Plus that I thought I'd try to get back into content creation and try streaming. So let's start it up again.
Remember that feeling
Now that I
when you
actually have my
first started
thing.
playing World of Warcraft? You'd race home from school, throw your backpack on your bed, get on the computer, sit down, and... cinema. Now, regardless of when you started playing, we've all had that feeling of not knowing what's over that mountain, what challenge is next, what piece of gear may be the next big upgrade that some random boss in a dungeon just so happened to drop. The mystery of what was out there kept you firmly locked in, wondering what was next. And I think, or hope so at least, that Classic Plus can give us that feeling back.
Bro, I could talk.
I didn't actually start playing until Wrath, so my opinions might not be what some Classic people like.
About Classic Plus every day for the next 2 years. I could do it.
国服目前还没有任何关于 Plus 的这个讨论，所以说有没有现在还不清楚。
I love Classic, and I want the best version of Classic WoW to be available for the people that want to play it forever.
I want there to be a resource for Blizzard to be like, okay, look, maybe a ton of people want this or a ton of people don't.
Hey guys, I'm Jordy, and Classic Plus, as of this video's release, hasn't officially been announced yet, but thankfully, it does look like we're gonna get it. Blizzard has dropped hint after hint after hint that they're working on something big, with the community frothing at the mouth to figure out exactly what that is.
所以暴雪能不能智能起来？现在立刻马上把 Plus 2.0给我端上来！
So yes, we all want it, but the
only I would
question
dig like
I kept running
Asmongold.
into as I started thinking about a series about Classic Plus, what exactly is Classic Plus? No,
Then actually
really,
reaction
I'm
streams
asking
would actually
you,
make
person
sense.
watching this video. What is
I
Classic
just
Plus
wanted this.
to you? Okay, think about your answer because we'll come back to you in a sec, but since this is my YouTube video, stay with me here. When I started asking myself that question, I ended up having many conversations with a very good friend of mine, Only.
Hey, I'm Only. I created the Hardcore All-Stars tournament where Blizzard announced official hardcore servers.
Yeah, I just want to own the server. That's what I want to do.
Nerd!
I met Jordy way back in unofficial hardcore WoW when he killed my priest in Strat UD. Thank you.
Shackle the gargoyle if it gets you.
Yeah, I will. The diamond.
LOS all the way behind this wall. We should LOS all the way behind the wall.
I'm netted. You'll help me get out. I really need help.
Maybe don't shoot.
Heal him.
Dude.
Look, I still argue that wasn't.
Farthest I made it in hardcore was like 24, so good times.
My fault. So, Only and I kept talking about what we'd want to see in Classic Plus, but we kept bumping into a few issues. First, why should anyone care what one person thinks Classic Plus should be? Sure, we've got a bunch of ideas, we've got our non-negotiables and dreams for what this game could be, but we're not alone in that.
I wanted to be able to flesh out our ideas because talking about things and thinking about things is a good way to figure out what we actually want.
If they ever do Classic Plus, I would love to see them do it like in the spirit of Classic.
You know what I would like to see in Classic Plus?
Classic Plus.
Classic Plus.
Classic Plus.
Classic Plus.
There's no discussion about Classic Plus. I mean, there is, but like there's no real hub.
And Soda is right, there isn't. Old School RuneScape has this great polling system. Jagex asks the community if they should do some new feature or make some new change, and the community votes on whether or not they want that thing to happen. But Blizzard isn't gonna do that.
I think they should.
They're either too proud or too scared to offer up the reins of what Classic Plus might be to the community. But we care a lot about this game, and while the developers have their reasons for doing what they're doing, we wanted to take matters into our own hands and figure that out ourselves. What do we, as the community, think Classic Plus should be? So, we took the initiative and we made it happen. Introducing the entirely fan-made, with no input from Daddy B whatsoever, WoW Classic Plus, a place where we've gone through everything that we could think of to ask you, intrepid adventurer, what you want to see.
So right now you can head over to the website and start taking some surveys. An intro survey followed by a bunch of smaller ones covering every aspect of the game we could think of, from zones to PvP to raids and even itemization. Once you're done, you'll be able to see how your answers stacked up with the rest of the community.
And after that, we want to invite you to...
So on the YouTube live stream, it says that I have to be live to mess with it, but I'm not sure what's up with that. It still says live stream alt leveling from when I streamed last, but I'll figure that out eventually. I'm just pointing that out. That's not the actual title.
Offer up your big ideas and pitches on the content pages. Now,
and that's why I'm doing this stream. I want to start making content again. And here's my mic. Yeah, just starting making content and actually getting back into streaming. Maybe I'll actually grow my channel this time. Who knows?
Each of these is built around creating a space for you to give your best ideas up to the community, where people can then vote up or down, and soon enough, the best ideas will be known. Now, speaking of best ideas, in my previous life, I wrote television. So narrative is super important to me to keep me grounded in the reason I'm doing something. And to me, Classic Plus doesn't really make any sense. Why would the game just change from what it became to what we want to see? And then it hit me. Did you guys know that Doomlord Kazakh is actually the guy who opened the dark portal to Outland that enabled TBC? Now, imagine with me, if you will.
I did not know that since I started playing in Wrath, and I don't really pay attention to the game a lot sometimes, lore-wise. Like, I know it opened, but I didn't know he was the one that did it.
Remember well the sting of defeat at the conclusion of the Third War. I have waited far too long for my revenge. Now, the shadow of the Legion falls over this world. It is only a matter of time until all of your failed creation is undone.
I have a standing desk, so if I move around too much, it's my bad.
Legion will conquer all.
I wonder how long this took.
Not again. Not again.
Okay, so that's what I want to see that explains why we're getting Classic Plus, at least narratively. The Dark Portal is destroyed during Kazac's attempt to open it to Outland, changing the future of Azeroth forever. And right here, we've pitched everything that you just saw on the website. And for subsequent videos, the most upvoted or community favorite ideas that you, yes you, person watching this video, submit could be selected to be fully animated into something like you just saw, featured alongside
That'd be cool.
a bunch of other content that people have pitched. And look, maybe you think this idea sucks, or you're a glorious redshirt guy and can explain in the lore why none of that Kazakh idea makes any sense. So, come tell us, up or downvote it. Then head over to the Discord where we built a place to house all of the discussion, and together we can figure this out. And to top it all off, as you interact with the website, your rank on the Discord goes up. Pretty cool. So, complete the surveys, check out and vote on other people's ideas to help filter out the good ideas from the bad, and maybe even pitch an idea of your own.
And to help get that process started, we've posted all our content ideas that you can react to and use as your starting point. From a whole phase schedule to new talent trees that keep classes unique while removing clunkiness. We'll talk.
I wonder how a talent tree where you don't have, where it's just a level requirement, not a talent requirement. So like here, you have to have 5 to go into this one. Instead, you just have to be level 15, and you can respec, and you can have 5 into this. You know, that's one of my. That I wonder how that would
all
work.
of that soon, but for
It
now,
might not
you
work
can go
that
to the
great at all.
website and check it
Or
all
could
out.
be
Oh, and we translated the
somewhat
entire
decent.
website to Chinese for them as well. They're going to be playing this too,
Oh
and
boy,
their
Chinese.
voice should be heard.
你们这群狼鬼没尝过资方局的铁拳吗？还有那个运营反馈速度 ，Look my eyes，我向煤火学习。
Because let's face it,
Yes.
Classic WoW
Learn from NetEase, Blizzard.
isn't Blizzard's game anymore. It's ours. So let's act like it. Strap in, because we're about to find out what Classic Plus really means. Welcome to the Classic Plus project.
Yes.
Haven't we done this before?
Huh? Me not that kind of orc. What?
classic eating their body. Classic Plus. Alright, let's take some surveys. I play just whatever my friends are playing on. And I literally have like one of everything. Just depends. And then same thing. It's just the way I play. I just want one of everything. Like on retail WoW right now, I have one of every class at max level. I'm not the best, but I have one of every level, and I'm 30. Depends on the week if I have something to do. Really, I try to play every day if I can. But sometimes I go off for a few weeks, or I just get burnt out and I go play RuneScape. But if I'm not burnt out, I'm playing every day. Interaction Vanilla Classic WoW. I started playing WoW in Wrath, and then I played Classic WoW and Season of Discovery. I never played Vanilla, but I played the Classic and Classic Anniversary. But what was I going to say? I had a thought, but I can't think of it. Anyway, check all the ply. Oh, I started in Wrath. So when Classic was first announced, I had a plan for Wrath Classic. Because that's when I started. And I was like, yes, all you people who want no changes Classic, you should have that. Because when it gets to Wrath, I want to do something I did when I first got my first max level. Which was, if you didn't know, in original Wrath, you could buy all the honor gear, the level 80 honor gear, before you were actually level 80. So I mostly leveled through PvP when I was at the top of the brackets. And by the time I was level 60 or 70, I went to go get all the 70 brutal gear probably. Because I don't think it was 60. And I discovered that you could buy the level 80 gear. So how I leveled to 80 was in Warsong Gulch. With all of the, I think it was probably Relentless gear. I had all the Relentless gear you could get for honor in my bag. And I got to where I was like one flag cap away from leveling. We got a flag cap. I was level 80 mage with full Relentless gear in the battleground. That's how I leveled. And I wanted to do a stream where that's how I leveled a Death Knight. But in Wrath Classic, they didn't do. They stopped you from being able to do that. But also, like Death Knights, they weren't as the original. Like I know it was kind of overpowered, but they should have still done the original, because that just would have been better. I'm gonna turn this lo-fi. So it's not just quiet when I'm not talking. but I play everything. But I mostly tank stuff. But I wait until I try to wait until I'm geared to actually tank things. You know, as you should. North America. I'm mostly PvP, but I'll do anything. And I like leveling. I would raid, but I work like 40 plus hours a week, and a lot of the time I don't have time for stuff. So I don't raid as much as I would like to. How likely are you to play Classic Plus? It depends on the quality, but I can't wait to log in. No. I don't think they should have subscriptions anymore. Like, they should just monetize some other way. Like, what if they went to, like, the old school RuneScape, selling a bond, put in more gold sinks so that gold doesn't inflate, but just sell bonds. I'm sure there's enough people that would buy it. Basically just buying gold. No, don't change anything. Don't change anything. When I go between classic and retail, it messes with my eyes. Especially when I'm trying to do arenas. I'm just like, I can't see what I need to see, and I have to get used to it with a couple games. And I have no opinion on the rollout. I started on Sentinels when I started playing the RP. Was it PvE RP? I don't remember, but I know it was RP. 1 mega PV server. That one might be good. Or like this. But really I have no opinion. It just depends on how they could do it, that it would actually work. Seasonal servers, resetting every couple of years. Depends. They could do it. Like it just depends. Like maybe they have one server that's just as continuous ongoing, and then they have another server that's a reset that then you can put into the ongoing one. I don't really know about layers. I don't know if I like them or not. No opinion on the rates. But flexing could be good, but I really have no opinion. Dungeon Finder. I started in Wrath, so it doesn't bother me. But I see the potential issues that people are all for no changes, no Dungeon Finder have, so I'll just put no opinion. Summoning stones. I saw some YouTuber. He said something like an attunement for summoning stones. I think that might be good. Just straight up summoning stones, like that guy said. Just that, no. But if they had like an attunement for it, I think that could work. Should there be heroic dungeons? Depends on how they implement them. Like you get the same loot, but you get more loot from a heroic. Should it be rated PvE? depends. Maybe. It could work. Should there be rated PvP? No. Maybe not arenas, but like rated battlegrounds. Because Classic, the way Classic, from what I've heard, like how some spells work and whatnot, it's not really good for arenas. But maybe if they reworked it a little bit and kept the Classic feeling, maybe it could work. So I just put yes. AoE looting. No opinion. World buffs should be non-dispellable. Maybe we could purchase them instead. Some more varied ones that keep the Classic feel. Maybe weaken them all. Having them all fresh for a raid, but I don't know. Or a battleground. Rated battlegrounds might be fun with just a fresh chrono boon of it. I don't know. No matter what they do with the world buffs, someone will get mad. I like them. But also, someone who raids, they wipe. Now their whole raid is just ruined because they missed all their world buffs. So I see people's like or dislike of it. No opinion. Should mount level requirements be lowered? Yes and no. For me. So my idea would be like a flying a flight master, but with mounts. So like Goldshire has, let me look. So like in Elwyn Forest, Goldshire has stables that after you go over to Red Ridge and Lakeshire, you can, just like the Flight Master, you can get that, and then you have a Mount Master, kind of like the Flight Master, but with you can go on the main road with like Uber mounts, right? Yeah, Uber mounts. Heck no on flying mounts. But I did have an idea for flying mount, or the Flight Master, where instead of the regular flight path, I mean, they should just have a goblin glider or a parachute. You just turn yourself to where you want to go, and you just pay a certain amount to just shoot yourself off, and the Griffin will just go that way. And you're flying over where you want to land. You're like, all right, this is where I want off, and just hit the parachute, but not an actual flying mount. Should guild banks? Possibly. I think that could work. I was watching S-Fan, and he was saying how like gatekeeping achievements are. So I kind of agree with him, you know, but at the same time, achievement hunters, they could work, but maybe it would be used to gatekeep. You haven't done this, so we're not gonna invite you. Maybe make it like Should reputations be streamlined? Maybe make it kind of like a warband effort. Maybe. I feel like I have an alarm that's about to go off. Nope, I don't. Adding transmog? Probably not. I think it would be bad. Like if you're doing something and you see someone has this, they have that gear, that tells you they have that gear, and you know that's the gear they have on. Should have separate? Yes. No. No to GDKPs. I don't think it should be. Maybe like a prestige system. What'd I miss? Wait. I thought I missed something. Because this XP bar. Should Classic Plus have new zones? Yes, but no. At first they should have like Gilneas come out. It's already in the thing. It's already in the map. Just open the gates of Gilneas. But eventually, wait. That was a different question for later. Yes, they should have new zones. If yes, where? Okay, yeah, this is what I was thinking of. Because I already looked at this stuff. Like, at first it should be on the two main continents. Like, open the gates of Gilneas. And possibly, if people like it, maybe have Worgen as a playable thing. I think. I have no problem with Worgen. If people want that. Which is where I think they should do like a like old school RuneScape where they have the not survey, the polls. Should new content be added for leveling? Quests, low level zones, dungeons? Yes, actually. I had an idea to rework the starting zones. So this idea was what I had for Season of Discovery, but what if, because on my idea for Season of Discovery that I had, it would be like you only go to level 10 instead, and then we start a war effort like the level 60 war effort. The Alliance starts a war effort to create the means to get over here, and they invade Orgrimmar as the level 10 raid. But at level 10 there's no good dungeons, so the starting zone is like perfect for has the perfect opportunity for introducing dungeons like that they didn't do in the original starting zone. But like over here, this cave that you're sent into, that could be a little mini dungeon that introduces you to the concept of dungeons and grouping up. And they could do that with every starting zone, really, in my opinion. So like over in Elwyn Forest, I don't know, maybe they would put a little what was it, Garrick or whatever, the guy that you kill, put a little cave behind him and have his quest be a dungeon quest. But then also where the mine that Goldtooth is in, make that a little dungeon. And in Dunmorrow, the little Yeti cave over by, well, first in the starting zone, the troll cave, make that a little mini dungeon for the starting zone. And then the Yeti cave, make that the first dungeon after the starting zone, the little Yeti cave. And the same thing for Elwyn Forest. Make a little cave right here. Go get Garrett Pad, whatever his name was. And then down here below Goldshire, you get Fargo. Was it Fargo Deep Mine? Django over here. But then whatever this mine is, that could be a lower level dungeon where you go get Goldtooth's Bernice's necklace. And then Mulgore. That area with all the bristle boars or whatever, that's a dungeon. A little mini. And then this right here, this is a dungeon. And then where could you go in Duratar? That would be a dungeon. Maybe this whole island system right here. That was my idea. This island system, all of the quests over there, they're all dungeon quests now. And then that I thought that would work better for like a Season of Discovery, where instead of 25 they stopped at 10. So maybe that wouldn't work, maybe it would, I don't know. But here's a dungeon, and then here's a dungeon, and then Ragefire Chasm. But like every the very first starting, the Valley of Trials, all of them have their own little introduction to dungeons that they could have done in the original. So that's one of my ideas. Low level zones, dungeons, but then also like more quests and hubs. I don't know. Should leveling be sped up? Yes and no. Maybe it shouldn't actually be sped up, but like better quests and more stuff to do. You know? Because personally I like leveling, so I'm not really bothered by it. But at the same time, zone hopping and all that, like there's probably people that don't play just because it's like I've already done this 1 to 60 for this is like the 10th time they've done it, so they just don't do it. One second, I'll be right back. I'm back. I had to make sure if we had milk or not. We do not. I didn't think we did, but I want to make sure before I said, yeah, we don't have milk. And we have a full jug already. Should there be new class-specific quests? Yes. I mean, if they can think up something good, do it. Should there be more epic quest lines? Sure. Sounds fun. This is Classic Plus. I mean, eventually they come up with something like that. How you'd like to see changes in Classic Plus to old raids. Add more complex, difficult mechanics. How is do all the above when I prefer the way they were? I have no opinion. Should there be new raids? Yes. Proposed raids that already exist in the world, plus create some new, interesting content. I think they should create new raids. Like with my Season Plus, or Season of Discovery idea, where the Siege of Orgrimmar level 10 raid, that could have been a first raid. Submit end of survey. Should Classic Plus have new playable races? Which of the following categories would be acceptable? New ones. At the start, it should be no. But if there's a voting system, anything. Like if people want it, and it keeps the feel of Classic, they could possibly make it work. Or completely ruin it. Should Classic Plus have new classes? I think they could possibly make stuff. Oh, excuse me. Some new ones, and like a very nerfed Death Knight could potentially. I mean, if they broke the portal like on the Classic Plus video, but then there's still the Lich King out there. I mean, so that would nerf them into Classic levels. But at the start, definitely not. Should new race class combos be added? Yes. Stuff that makes sense in the lore. Definitely not this. Especially if they keep all the racials how they were. People would just min-max and they'll just min-max and put the race class combo that's the best. But if it makes sense with the lore, I think it'd be good. Like on some private servers, how they have undead paladins. the undead were human, but now the light just burns them. I think that could work, possibly. Should the Horde have paladins? Yes. Maybe not at the start, but yes. Should classes be reworked? New base abilities and spells. Class role combinations. Class fanatics may each play through unique. Maybe some quality of life stuff, or not, to keep it classic, the classic vibe. Maybe not. Ret Paladin, though, might need some help. Maybe a no, but also yes, if they do it correctly. Especially like this is Classic Plus, new armor sets and whatnot will eventually happen. That'll instead of a vertical climb will be a horizontal climb. There might need to be some quality of life stuff that has to happen to go with that. I don't know. I want to lean toward no, but if they can find a way to keep the classic, the vanilla feel, yes. Need to raid buffs. I don't like I don't like having reagents in my bag. Make it raid wide. Yeah, that's all. Talent specializations be reworked? No. But maybe. And yes, I want to see. Maybe add a new spec. Maybe add like, keep the old, but have like the possibility for something new. Yes. Yes. Should a fourth talent? Possibly. Depends on, no, but it depends on if they could figure something out that would work. Like Guardian Druid would definitely work. And I like tank shaman idea. Should every specialization be competitive in both PvE and PvP? Every spec? Probably not. I feel like stuff would be over tuned and whatnot, and there'd be no class fantasy or anything. Not in most cases. Maybe. I'll go with that. Dual specialization? Yes. It's a gold sink. And I think that could, if they went with the bond thing where they sold gold and cracked down on botting and whatnot, and gold sellers where they sold the gold at bonds, they would need this as a gold sink to make sure that gold doesn't inflate too much. Dual spec, maybe even quad spec could work. Should new professions be added? Yes. I think a new profession should be added to retail too. Like with player housing out, we should have woodcutting and construction to make a defensive tower beside your house. That'd be awesome. But my idea for Classic Plus, so while you're leveling isn't it like when you're leveling a paladin in original classic, there's no good relics. Not relics. Librams. There's no good libram for like leveling. So how about we make woodcutting and a whittling profession. Carving or whittling, whatever you want to call it. And someone can whittle a libram or a little trinket. So that's how we could have more trinkets and librams. I don't know. I feel like that would be good. Should professions be updated to have more in-game relevance? Yes, I like professions. They're fun to play with. Submit end of survey. World. Oh. Yes, retake. Oh. I broke it. Okay. Top 3 that you enjoyed playing in Classic WoW. I like Ragefire Chasm. I never really played Wailing Caverns. I like Dead Mines, Shadowfang Keep, Stockades. Nomergon confused me. I didn't start till Wrath, so it was just that you go in, jump down, kill that boss, run in. So I don't really know the layout very well, so maybe if I knew the layout better. Wait, yeah. I do like the stockades, but I think it should be slightly reworked. Scarlet Monastery is good. I like Zul'Farrak and Blackrock Depths. Pick the top 3. Yeah, the top 3. Scarlet Monastery is really one, but need major revamping in Classic. I think there's some that could do with some revamping, but maybe not major revamping. Like Scarlet Graveyard's not that great. Not. It's good. It's not that fun to me. It's just that open courtyard and just all these ghosts around. I don't know. I feel like it could be better. Stockades kind of needs. So I had an idea for Ragefire and Stockades with again more of a Season of Discovery, stop at level 10 and then level 20 kind of idea, where so the Horde have Ragefire Chasm for level. You can go in at 8, and the top levels are like 20, I think. So from like 8 to 22 or whatever, you can go in and level at Ragefire Chasm. And then the Alliance, their capital dungeon, the Stockades, doesn't start till 15. So what if, like, for the Ragefire Chasm and the Stockades, there's like a deeper level? I don't know how they would do it with Ragefire Chasm, but for the Stockades, you could keep the Stockades how they are right now, level 15 to, like right now in Anniversary TBC, level 29 is the top that you really stop getting experience from the lowest levels, I think. So keep that section of the Stockades the same level wise and loot wise, but maybe make it branch off 1 or 2 more times. And then for like make it more like the Ragefire Chasm, make an upper level and a lower level, and you could have an attunement for the current stockades. So you have to do the upper level of stockades where it's like the Horde, Prisoners of War, but it's like a level 8 to, like you can go in at level 8 like Ragefire Chasm, and the first mobs are level 13 like in Ragefire Chasm. And there's a few quests in there where the last boss stole the key, and that gets you into the original stockades. And then same thing for Ragefire Chasm. You have, it's keep it how it is. It's got some pretty good mob density, but then make a lower level, or I don't know. I don't know how they would do it with Ragefire Chasm, honestly. I was looking around this website though, and someone suggested something with a Undercity dungeon. So maybe have the stockades thing, and then for the Horde they have Ragefire Chasm and an Undercity, kind of like an Undercity stockades. Maybe that could work. Where the Horde, they have their Ragefire, then they go to Undercity. That might be how that could be done. I don't really have an opinion on the other ones that I didn't. If I didn't click it up here, I didn't really run it that much. I don't really have an opinion on it. So I don't know how they could rework it or just leave it if it's good. I don't know. People don't like some people do, some people don't like the going around the pillars or whatever, the platforms. I don't know. I haven't done that enough to see if I even like it or not. At launch, should more effort be put into creating new dungeons or improving old dungeons? Try to balance between the two, I'd say. Maybe do the new ones and then go back to the old ones. Maybe the old ones can be like on the back burner. Like the old ones right now work, so they don't really have to have a rework. More open world dungeons. Why is there no opinion on this? I don't really do the open world dungeons, so I don't have an opinion on it. So, cool. Maybe turn them into instance dungeons. Rare spawns and dungeons. Rare spawns are cool, but just make them always spawn. They're not rare if I can scout ahead of time. Is that how that's supposed to be worded? They're not rare if I can scout ahead of time. Rare spawns are exciting. How about it's cool when you have a rare spawn, but maybe don't have like a if I want an item, enter mind vision to scout, So have them, but like, don't make them like you have to have it. I don't know. I wish there was a no opinion. Lockout caps. They're critically important for OP classes farming certain enemies. No. What's really important is stuff like in dead mines in the first room, there's a chance for a copper ore to spawn. So bots can just constantly go into dead mines and just farm copper ore forever. So if they would do something about botting, but even then, regular people can just go in, like on my 60 paladin, I can go in, farm the copper, go out, reset, go in, there's no copper there, go out, reset, go in, the copper's back. How many could you get per hour just going into the very first room of dead mines and farming that copper node? So, but also, if they could fix that problem, like maybe make it so they can't spawn for 5 dungeons, right? Like, I like going back to old dungeons and just soloing them on my higher levels to farm for cloth and whatnot. So I like that. But that's me actually going through the whole dungeon and getting everything. But I think they should keep them, unless they could fix that to where stuff just doesn't spawn for 5, or it won't just keep on spawning with a dungeon like that. Rotating random boss. No opinion. Should there be heroic dungeons? Possibly. Should there be a Mythic Plus style? Ladders in progression. Maybe. It could work if they kept the... Or no. I mean, it's classic. I'm not sure. Or professions in your dungeon. A rogue unlocking a door. Sometimes that's cool. But should there be a different way to open it? Like you have to have a rogue? Should player power chase items by extremely low drop rate items in dungeons? It's kind of fun to have something to chase. Should player power chase items be extremely low drop rate? No bid. Should there be solo challenges? Yes. I mean, that can be what you do. That can be when you're not raiding or something. Or no one's on. Just do that. Maybe not delves and mage tower and whatnot. Should dungeon finder be implemented? Only in-game UI to assist forming groups. I think that's good. Especially with earlier, if they have what was it? They have mine went blank. Where you have an attunement for dungeons to use the summon stone. You go do it. I kind of like that idea. Should summoning stones. Just doing it? No. But if there's like an attunement to it, that might be good. because there's some people that don't play because, like, I get the adventure and going places, but there are some times when it's like, we don't have a warlock, so I gotta run all the way to Scarlet Monastery. That kind of sucks. Like, how many people are not playing because of that? How do you feel about the leveling cadence of vanilla World of Warcraft? It's too slow. It's too quick. Let's make it 400 hours. No. Maybe not speed it up, but like have more stuff to do. Like with those lower level dungeons, that doesn't really speed it up. You have to go do the dungeons. Should Classic Plus have phase level caps until we reach like in SOD? Yes and no. They could make that work. Or they could just do another season of Discovery. Like, I think they didn't really test. Like, I don't think Season of Discovery was like, it was, until the end it was all old dungeons. I think that were converted into raids. Right? And then Karazhan. That was a 61. So if they had, I think they should, like, I like my idea of a dungeon in every starter zone, like the Valley of Trials. Not Valley of Trials. What is it? Yeah, Valley of Trials. Or Northshire. And then the the Gold Tooth. The Gold Tooth quest is a dungeon quest in that little area. Like if they could do that, maybe, to introduce that kind of stuff, but probably not. That'd be more for like a Season of Discovery thing, if they redid it. Rank these quest types. Kill X, loot X. The loot X, sometimes the drop rates suck, and you kill 100 boars that all look like they have a tusk, and you only get 2 tusks when you need 5. So it depends on that. Kill X number, I like those. Escorts, sometimes they are not well scripted. Quest objective isn't fully explained. These are, oh. Dropped a quest item that begins a new quest. I'll hold off. Fetch this item from this place and bring it back to me. Kill a specific raid boss. Discover, craft X number of things. Do X thing, but you have a time limit. Depends. Like, all these are fine. Sometimes these are annoying. Do X things, but you have a time limit. An X number of items. Like, it's just not it's just not pathed well. Or they go off and attack something 20 miles away. It's like, why are you attacking that? It didn't attack you. Do you feel like the flow of quests in Vanilla WoW leads you from zone to zone in a natural way? There are some gaps. Generally, it flows well. Yeah, let's go with that. Should there be more quest hubs within existing zones? Maybe a few hubs could help fill in the world. Yeah. What if we had temporary quest hubs like a Dark Moon Fair? Like when the Horde have Dark Moon Fair, the Alliance have a quest. They have boats that send them over like they're invading Horde territory and vice versa. And they just have it'll get them closer to the Dark Moon Fair, for one, where you don't have to make all the, like you're invading their area, and you just have some quests to take some of their resources. But it's like a temporary quest hub that then goes away when the Dark Moon Fair goes away. How do you feel about puzzle quests? No opinion. How do you feel about repeatable quests in general? Repeat turn-ins, dailies, weeklies. I see the value of these quests. They don't give more of them. These quests are boring. I just have no opinion. Significant player power, if they so choose. If it's like that, it's fine. Should there be daily, weekly world quests? No. Retail WoW. That burns me out a lot. But maybe if they can keep a classic feel to it, like what is it? Like Warcraft, Orcs and Humans. The RTS game. I never played it, but I watched some gameplay of it, and you're just sending people out to cut down trees and building up fortifications, and then the orcs come in and attack you. So maybe lean into Warcraft and have we're attacking Horde territory. We're attacking Alliance territory. And do it that way. I don't know. But a lot of the world quests in retail just burn me out. Like if I logged onto retail right now, I don't know what to do. Aside from doing PvP stuff. Should every class get more class quests? Yes, but only to unlock abilities. Sure. If they can think of cool class quests, do it. That keep the classic feel. How do you feel about group quests? Group quests are fine. I should be able to do most of the zone without needing a group. Kind of in between. In between all three, really. But you don't want to have to have help, especially if it's late or early and there's no one on, or no one on that you know. Anyway. But also, it could be fun. But let's keep it with that. Should quest rewards gear be buffed? No. But yes. Be cool to have stuff as actual upgrades. somewhat. Let's make some upgrades. I'm not sure. Should attunements be streamlined? No. Sure. Yeah. I mean, it is a raid. Maybe don't make it easier. I don't know. I wish there was a no opinion. No, don't do it. But maybe? No opinion. Should attunements be account-wide? No. Maybe. Maybe make it easier after you've done it once. Maybe just make it a shortened quest line assessment. Doing a tune, yeah. Maybe just shorten it. You've already done it once. Make it shorter. I mean, it's a raid. You're proving to your from a role-playing game, from an RPG standpoint, you're proving to these people that you can go into a raid and not just instantly die or something. So, yeah. Classic Plus had prestige levels. Maybe. Could be. That could be fun. What if the prestige levels gave small bonuses to professions, flight path speed? Possibly. Should there be heirloom type type items that could send to increase XP gains? No. But what if we add something to alchemy or enchanting? Make it into a type of gold sink where alchemy has a plus 5% EXP bonus, like in MOP. That guy, or those, in MOP, where that potion for 300%, but like 5%, or 100%, or maybe something that gives you your rested XP back. They could do something to encourage ults and make quest or leveling a little easier. I mean, there are people who don't play the game because they've already leveled so many times, and it takes 160 hours to do it. Like, I work 46 hours a week on average. I don't have as much time as I'd like to play the game. Plus, outside of work, I have a life sometimes. I want to go to hang out with my nephew or nieces and, you know, have a life outside of WoW. So 160 hours to get another character to max level. Maybe a 300% EXP potion would be good. And you could up your get your rested XP all the way back. Pop 2 potions, and you have full rested XP and an hour of 300% EXP potion. But maybe not do heirlooms. Or you could enchant your gear for some EXP. I don't know. Because just having the same set of heirlooms, it's not really classic. I don't know how to word that. How would you feel if your alts got increasingly more XP the more max level characters you had? I don't think warbands did enough. Maybe do that and how I said with that. But I thought warbands were going to go to 50%, and it stopped at 25%, I think, and I got mad. It's like, dang it. I have one of every character at max level, and it was only a 25% gain after 5 characters, or whatever it was. Can't think of it off the top of my head. Should Classic Plus allow XP toggling for twinking? Yes. If someone wants to play like that, do it. For Legion lore, I don't really know much about lore raids, so for Legion, I did level 98 twink. At level 98, you could get your artifact weapon. You could only get one, unfortunately, and the grind for AP was insane. But you could get it, and you could do the all the zone questings until you got into the dungeons for that zone, and it gave you all your main armor. The four pieces of main armor that was at level 98. It was really good. Really high item level. Races and factions. Which of the new races would you want to see in Classic Plus? Keep the original 8 at first, but I think Blood Elves and Draenei could be good. Goblins could be good. We already have Booty Bay. Dark Iron Dwarf, possibly. Just because in Stockades there's that rare spawn that's a Dark Iron Dwarf. Murlocs. High Elves. Completely new races. Ogres. Mechano? Nah. Well. If they do something with Gilneas, why couldn't we have a Worgen? At first, they should keep the original 8, but or if they want to put at first Blood Elves and Draenei, just like TBC, so they can have Horde Paladins and Shaman Paladins from the start, maybe. But I don't know. How do you feel about neutral races? Choosing faction after starting zone? Maybe? That's a maybe, but I lean toward no. It should be 1 through 10, since you start Battlegrounds at level 10. Unless you were starting them out at level like 10, and you do some leveling. Out of 10, how much do you like the current racial trait system? I mean, there's like a lot of BIS stuff. Like you have to have Orc for Axe if you're Horde, for Warrior. Maybe they could change it to where you could pick your racial. Or just not have them. I don't know. How do you feel about rebalancing the racial abilities? Like I like them, kinda, having them, but allow you to change your racials, whatever combination you want. Maybe balance them, but don't change the soul. They do create FOMO. I don't know. Like I do kind of like them, but also there's the FOMO. So I'll just put FOMO. Like, I'd like to just be an undead warrior, because it's funny to eat people. But you want to be an orc for like the axe specialization. So I don't know. If you just maybe if they just gave all of the combat specializations to everyone. Just everyone gets it. Okay. Maybe do that. I don't know. How would you feel about cross-faction play? This is the World of Warcraft. How about we lean more into Warcraft? And we don't do cross-faction? No cross... What's the... Allow it? What's the type your answer for? How would you feel about cross-faction play in Classic Plus? Check all that apply. Allow it for dungeons and raids. Allow it for open world PvP. Allow it for battlegrounds. No cross-faction play whatsoever. Maybe no cross-faction. How do you feel about the current faction dynamic? Maintain it. Add a third. Factions are obsolete. Maintain it. Lean into the war. Have alliance. Sack Orgrimmar. Siege of Orgrimmar. We already have that. Should gear mounts be faction specific? Cosmetically, at least. Yeah. If you're on Horde, it should be Horde. If you're on Alliance, it should be Alliance. Should certain content like quests or dungeons be exclusive to particular factions, races? Like Ragefire Chasm's exclusive to Horde? Sure. Unless you can brute force your way into Orgrimmar and go in there. Then you can do it. Should the regular auction house be cross-faction? No, you can already use the neutral. Yes. Maybe. There might be some economy reason that we shouldn't, but there could be economy reason that we should. Keep prices down. I don't know. I want to know opinion. I don't know. Submit. What are some systems? I didn't do this one on here. Systems, PvP. I think war mode's fine. Maybe do increased XP for alts. How would you rate the original PvP ranking? Bad. Same system? No. Remove the weekly rank system. Honor goes up, rank goes up. Ranks require set amounts. Reaching rank up. Maybe. I mean, people who just constantly play all the time have all the time in the world to grind honor, but then like other people, screw you, you have no time. So I don't really like the system. How would you feel if rank was uncapped? Where upon sitting max rank you could continue prestige but gain no additional power? Maybe. How would you want Arena and Classic Plus? Possibly. Maybe not. I don't know how well it's balanced for it, so I don't know. Sure, I'd do it. Which read size would you want to see? Check all that apply. Other. One v1. be interested in seeing it. Should you be able to heck no. Sounds toxic. Which of the following would you want to see? On a hardcore thing, sure. But on that, no. Which of the following would you want to see on PvP gear, if any? I don't know. Maybe? Maybe? What does stat item level normalization mean? Is that like the Legion thing? I'm not sure. Those things could be good or they could be bad. Should dishonorable kills exist? Yes. No. Yes. But it shouldn't be like if you're in a raid and someone kills something to be a prick. But if you're level 60 going around killing, they should add dishonorable kills to low level players. If you're level 60 just going around one-shotting level 20s, that's not PvP. That's griefing. Like, no matter what people say about that, you're in a PvP server. That's not PvP. I can't do anything. That should be a dishonorable kill. You killed someone who couldn't defend themselves? How important is it to you that Blizzard add new battlegrounds to Classic Plus? Sure. Maybe not at the start. Ones that make sense. Should more world PvP objectives be added? Yes. Yes, but make those fun first. Yes. Maybe. Rate the following world PvP objectives. I don't know. I didn't play that. But I have played the retail thing, so I'm not sure. I didn't play this. Well, I played it after it was... I played it when you could already hit level 60, so no one was ever doing it. So I don't know. Same thing. This one was alright. Is that even PvP? I'm not sure. Is there an... Wait. Ah, cool. They don't have the little things. So I'll just skip that one because I'm not sure. Killing faction leaders, vanilla. That's fun. If you can do it. World boss tag wars. Maybe. Maybe not. I'll just leave that. I didn't do any of those, so... But that sounds fun. How should the following combat mechanics function in PvP? I don't know. No opinion. No opinion. Well, it depends, actually. I mean, if they're going to make arenas and all that, if they could keep it, but also kind of rework it. So I'll just put no opinion. Because, like, I don't know. Should resurrection times be changed when you die repeatedly in PvP in open world? Yes. Shorten, get rid of them entirely. And if you're getting griefed, if you're getting camped, should rated BDs be added? Sure. Solo shuffle? No opinion. Should war games? Unrated pre-made versus pre-made. Are they getting honor in it? Where they can pick a pre-made to go against and practice against each other? Sure. Should players be allowed to talk? Well, they can just win trade actually if they had honor. So maybe don't give them honor for it. Should players be allowed to toggle off XP games for PvP purposes? Tweaking. Yes. Should kills in PvP give EXP? Probably not. Especially out in open world. I mean, people just camp people forever. Maybe do it only in BGs and have it be like for how it is, and or just don't do it. But I mean, I've mostly leveled through Battlegrounds on retail, so I don't know. No opinion. But yes, no. Should Battlegrounds, along with potential arena or other new PvP content, be released weeks or months after launch? Maybe. Should Battle? Yeah, do it. Just do it immediately. Battlegrounds for sure. Submit. Lore survey. Oh, my bad. How would you rate the story as a whole in Vanilla WoW? I don't know. There's a lot of times I just don't really pay attention. Does a good job explaining the story it's telling. But at the same time, I've watched a lot of videos, Platinum WoW and whatnot. So those ones that I've watched that I understand, they're pretty good. But usually I'm not really paying attention. So I'll still put it as 8. Depends on the story. As I'm playing, I guess, it doesn't really matter to me. But like I watch Platinum WoW and YouTubers and whatnot. No dungeon stories and whatnot. I barely know who anyone is. Sure. By Blizzard. I don't know. Best major story told in Classic WoW. Worst story you're aware of. Should Caverns of Times be added for a tool for more dungeons, raids, lore? Maybe? What's the best story? What's the worst? I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that. Should minor factions reputations be expanded on? And the lore of the game? Sure. Do it all. I mean, if it fits in Classic Plus, do it. I don't know. If it's good, just do it. I don't. If it doesn't make sense, don't do it. Phase to phase in a cohesive way. It's not a big deal how the story is told or when. Definitely want to be invested in what. It's not a really big deal, but it could be a good thing to have it be cohesive. Should each phase or cluster of phases conclude a storyline before picking up a new arc, or can stories run concurrently? Yes and no. There could be multiple things at once too. Which of the following vanilla major enemies in WoW would you consider having a compelling story? Choose up to 5. I don't know. Definitely Hogger. Onyxia, from what I know of. Ragnaros, maybe. Edwin Van Cleef. That's the guy in Dead Mines. Illidan, sure. Anything else you'd like to mention about the lore as it pertains to Classic Plus? Sure. World, raids, zones. Let's go to zones. Do you want new continents, worlds, dimension set to collect plus? Depends if it's done well. Not as they launched, but vanillafied. Yeah? Yes? Yes? Sure. If they're done well. If they're done well. Vanillafied, yeah. Screw it. I'll just do it, all of them. If it's done well, and vanillafied. Would you prefer Blizzard focus on improving existing zones or adding new ones at launch? Somewhere in between. Should there be more fast travel options in Classic Plus? Portals between cities and various zones, more ships, flight paths, multiple Hearthstones. No opinion. Maybe. I'm kind of conflicted because like there's a lot of walking, but that's why a lot of people like it. But like maybe we could make flight paths but stable paths for Uber. Uber? Is it Uber? I don't remember. So like before you're level 40 you haven't. Why do you have to wait till 40 to get a mount? It's because you're still a rookie and you haven't gotten the gold to make it, but you have enough for Uber. You have enough silver for Uber as a little gold sink like the flight paths to have a mount send you on the main road from Goldshire from Goldshire to the garrison in Westfall. If you've been there and you've unlocked that. Maybe portals between cities. Kind of like in RuneScape. You level up your magic. You can portal between Varrock and all that. Maybe have it like that, like RuneScape. Not like you're leveling magic, but like you can have home teleport. That could be something with the profession, like what is it? Inscription? You can make a little portal teleport, or you can make a little teleport scroll that teleports you to Ironforge, and it becomes like a slight gold sink to it. Like, you can just portal you could use these things to portal it, but it costs, like, or you can just run there. That might work. So yeah, maybe not portals between cities. Maybe that would be what it would be, kind of. Like add inscription, and they make little teleport scrolls that you can have that you can teleport to Stormwind with your teleport scroll or Ironforge. Should certain fast travel options be unlockable via quests, achievements, activities? Yes. Teleport scroll. You just want to see more rare spawns, rare events in the world. Keep them rare. Keep them rare, but do more. That's why they're called rare. How would you feel about more open world mini bosses, but cater to 5 players? Depends on how it's implemented. Should there be more PvP locations and events in the zones? Maybe. Depends. Like I see like they could be fun if they're done right, but you might want to opt out of it. I don't know. You might want to opt out of it, but they can be fun if they're done right. Should the phases in Classic Plus feature limited time or rotating world events? AQ opening event, Scourge Mansion. Possibly. Maybe not like don't impact the world, but they're not permanent. No. Should the phases that Classic Plus progress through change the world in a permanent way? Example, Cataclysm. No. That's why people like it. It's classic. Raids. Should there be level up raids, but require 10 plus players? Possibly. How do you feel about catch-up raids? ZGAQ. Catch-up raids and validate all the work I did in the previous tier. Maybe. Depends on how they're done. I'm not sure on how our ZG and AQ20 are catch-up raids. I'm not sure on that, so I'll just put no opinion. How do you feel about RP elements in raids? Too soon, Executus. I want to see numbers, not some boss giving a speech. The first or second time is fun to experience, but eventually it's just annoying. Yeah. Maybe after you've killed it, you can skip it the next time. How do you feel about raids getting nerfed days, weeks, months after launch? Nerfs should happen once, allowed well ahead of time. Outliers. Nerfs never feel good and should never happen. Let players struggle good eventually. No opinion. Given the choice of new raid tier, or new raid being spoiled by PTR, which would you prefer? No opinion. I don't know. Raid size and class plus. Can I just have a no opinion on this? Sure. A flex thing, I don't know. How do you feel about raids and or bosses requiring resistances in Classic? Maybe, since it's Classic Plus and we don't want to do vertical stuff. Potentially. Should raids have multiple difficulty levels? Possibly. Maybe we put just more loot in the higher ones, but it's the same loot. How would you want the difficulty of raids in Classic Plus to be? And Sod, I'm not sure. Possibly. If there were different difficulties raised, how should the loot differ? Better stats, higher rarity, cosmetic differently, more loot drops. Possibly. Should cooldowns reset in raids after a wipe? Successful kill. Not sure. How do you feel about world bosses? Don't really mind. World bosses are annoying and incentivize players no lifing so they can scout a spawn. They should be removed or changed. To get them are a fun part of what makes Classic great. I don't know. I want to know opinion, but there's no opinion. How would you want world bosses to look in Classic Plus? More accessible. Instance like they were in Sod. That could be. Some type of hybrid where they can spawn in world and inside the instance could work. Possibly. I see both sides, so I'll just put I don't really care. Nah, I don't want to type. Well. Wait, what? Oops. How do you feel about limited time events, AQ gate event spawning? The world within. A set? Limited time frame? Wait, what? Like the AQ gate event spawning content in the world. Oh, within a set. Limited time frame. The way it was the world within, I misread it. I like these events and the narratives, but they should last longer than 10 hours or even a couple of days, so I have time to engage. Sure. Kind of both of these. How do you feel about quests that require you to enter multiple raids? Thunder Fury. I've not done it, so I don't know. But I did do the Legendary Cloak in Mists of Pandaria. I like that, so I don't know. I'd have to do Thunder Fury for a real opinion on that. I like these. Maybe. Maybe. Kind of a both of those. How do you feel about bosses cycling week to week? Mechanics changing over time. Keep the bosses the same. Some variety is fun. Drastically too far. Maybe. Only for the current raid. Replace most all gear in the following. Current gear should be comparable to or slightly worse than next year's. Current gear should be relevant for 2+ years. Not sure. Should the phase schedule in Classic Plus reorder the raid release? Maybe. I don't know. No opinion. Should Classic Plus allow GTPs? No opinion. This is true. But if they would fix a lot of stuff, it could be better. Player. Classes and talents. How would you rate the class balance of Vanilla WoW? I'm not sure. 5. Like, it's not supposed to be balanced, so it's classic. You can do stuff with stuff that... Yeah. Keep it the same. Do you think any balancing needs to happen for Classic Plus? Should they be balanced? Like, we don't want to turn it into retail. No balancing needed. Keep the feel of classic, but isn't this the same thing? Some classes can be better at single target or cleave than others, but mostly similar. I didn't rate it all. We don't want to just turn everything into everything, but there could be some changes, buffs and nerfs. Which of the following talent trees are doing major revamping? I don't know. Where's the no opinion? Ret. Arcane. Yeah. Isn't Arcane kind of useless? I don't know. Enhance. Make a tank. Should new roles for some classes be added to Classic Plus? Yes. Pitch it in the content pages. Why is Tank Paladin here? I guess because they're not good at max level, maybe? In Classic? I'm not sure. Should classes receive new or adjusted abilities to make the rotation more interesting as they did, or tried to, in Season of Discovery? Yes and no. We gotta somehow keep Classic, but make it Plus. So yeah. If new abilities are added, how should they be learned? I think they should be experimented. Try a little bit of both. How would you feel if the talent trees in Classic were larger, meaning they went further down and required more point investment? Don't change the talent trees. Not sure, it depends how they implement it. Kind of both, but also that. Maybe weed out some things. I don't know. How would you feel if each talent tree had a capstone talent choice, meaning the bottom of the tree had 2 distinct talents? Not sure. Depends on how they implement it. Should every class get a movement speed? Talent or ability? No. Not everything should have speed. Should mass resurrection be a spell in the game? Sure. No? No opinion. Should damage over time, heal over time spells be able to crit baseline for all classes? Maybe if you can spec into it. Have one spec tailored specifically for PvP. It's not important for full class representation in PvP to me. Yes, at least one spec. No opinion. We're not going to ask you a question about your experience with each class. Present you with each question about the class. The questions are specific. Balance amongst the classes. I don't know. Would you consider your main or have a good base knowledge of? I don't really have a main. I just like to have everything at max and just be able to do whatever I want. At some points I'll be better at one thing than the other. By having a good base knowledge, I don't know. Let's just go with mage. Arcane. So it's asking solo. Should enemies in raids dungeons? Go back. Well, let's do paladin. I don't know. I don't have, like, I know things, but I wouldn't say, like, my own personal experience, I guess. I don't know. Can I just have a no opinion thing? Solo content, I don't know. Arcane Mage solo content. 5-man dungeon, I don't know. Fire Mage, I don't know. Frost, solo content. Obviously, it's a Frost Mage, so they can do whatever they want. That's a good RPG element for the immunities. Should Ignite be rollable by one mage over all the others, or should it be a personal debuff that each mage can roll on their own? I mean, that's kind of an RPG thing, right? There's one mage that has the Ignite on them, and then all the other ones are adding to it, so keep that. Should Mana Gems be in Classic Plus? Are they not in regular Classic? Is that a TBC edition? Sure. Maybe. That sounds good. How important is it to you that Arcane gets a rework to enable it to be played in more content effectively? No opinion. Keep it classic if you can rework it. If Shaman's got the ability to cast Bloodlust, if Shamans get the ability to cast Bloodlust, should mages also get Time Warp? Sure. But also no, they just shouldn't have it. If that's not a classic feel for people. Hang on, I'm getting a call. Okay. Should mages get the ability to cast teleport portals to more places in the world than Classic Plus? Yeah, if it's like a... maybe like more quests... more mage quests to unlock that. Should mage portals be able... not in the mages group? Don't change how mage portals work. I mean... don't change it. Should mages create the best water food in the game? Conjured crystal water. Sure. But can we add some to the vendor? Yes, but add some to the vendor. Got all that. Surveys. Did that. Mechanics, itemization. Economy, reputations, and more. How do you feel about gold sinks in WoW? Gold sinks are good. Yeah, I want to prevent inflation and possibly have Blizzard just sell gold. But you don't want the gold to just be worthless or have to have 10k gold to do something that right now costs 20 gold with some ridiculousness. What kind of gold sinks would be okay with being Classic Plus? Unlocking additional fast travel options, consumables, maybe a guild perk. Yeah, temporary buffs that increase your crafting skill. That could be fun if they do it right. How I said earlier, but not with heirlooms. More expensive flight paths? Just more flight paths. Or the Uber mounts. Yeah. Should Classic Plus have tabards for certain reputations that allow you to get rep for any high level dungeon? Like in Wrath of the Lich King. Possibly. I mean, that'll get someone who has already done a rep into other dungeons. Or you don't need that dungeon, but your friend needs it, and you can just do any dungeon, and it gets people doing more dungeons. Possibly. So yeah. Should Classic Plus allow you to level certain reputations beyond Exalted for a prestige? Sure, if they do it right. How do you feel about certain reputations being linked and choosing one? Wait. Feel about certain reputations being linked and choosing one prevents you from gaining rep from the other? Maybe. I like them. They create FOMO. They do probably create FOMO, but it does feel good sometimes. So kind of both. No opinion. Would you want to see an account bound item in Classic Plus? Double rep gains for the reputation. Well, once one character reaches Revered Exalted. Possibly. That would get rid of the FOMO. You know? Should Classic Plus feature additional minor reputations with very difficult grinds to grant prestige items? Sure, if they do it right, sure. It's Classic Plus. Itemization survey. Should some BIS items for PvE be solely available as a reward for PvP? Sure. If there's stuff for PvE that's best for PvP, it should be a vice versa. But you don't want to have, like, bad PvP because of it, because there's so many BIS items from PvP. I mean, it's probably not good for Classic Plus, but possibly something like Comp Stomp could fix that, where, like in retail, just a Comp Stomp so the people who like PvP are in PvP, but if you hate PvP, there's like a Comp Stomp thing. But I don't know that would be good for Classic Plus. Maybe it's a PvP item, but there's another way to get it. I don't know. Because you don't want to ruin the PvP for everyone else, because because people who don't like PvP are just going in and AFKing, or just, they don't know what they're doing. So I don't know. Should classes get a strong buff when they wear a full set of gear and their highest equipable equipment type? Warrior plate, shaman mail, druid's leather. That's how they did it in that didn't start until some expansion, and that made it so that you didn't compete. But this is Classic Plus, so possibly do it when there's more gear, and like possibly, but probably not. Should progressive phases introduce gear that nearly always has higher base stats than gear previously available? Situational upgrades. Yeah, we don't want power creep. Things like set bonuses could be a more unique way of increasing player power. Make it more gradual. That could be a thing. I don't know. There's going to be power creep. How do we keep it horizontal? I don't know. Do you like that certain items can remain powerful for several phases? Sure, yeah. That is fun. Should legendaries and Classic Plus always be weapons, or also other grade slots? Possibly, if they think of something else that's cool with an epic quest line, sure. Should legendary weapons items remain BIS for the entire lifetime of Classic Plus? No, there should be a better legendary. It shouldn't be a green or a blue or a purple that replaces a legendary, but they should be replaced with new legendaries down the line, yeah. Should every class get access to legendary weapons items? Sure. What doesn't have one now? A hunter? I'm not sure. Should weapons skill remain in the game? Keep it as it is. Speed up the rate at which you level up. I don't know. It's fun to go out and level sometimes. I mean, it's a classic thing. maybe there should be some way to do it faster. I don't know. Keep it as it is because it's for a classic, but like, don't just increase the rate. Maybe find some classic way to increase the rate if you do the work. What stats, if any, should be added to gear? I mean, this could be how they do stuff with the horizontal game progression to keep things not going vertical. So that could be how that works. So if they find a way to do it, all of them, should resistance remain a stat on items? Yeah. I don't know, keep it how it is, I don't know. Should gear score item level be a relevant stat for players in Classic? No. Should healing power and spell power be combined into one stat? Possibly. I don't know. It could be. Should more diverse gear affixes be added? Of the soldier, of the sorcerer. Ooh, that sounds fun. Should attack power and ranged attack power be combined? Maybe. Should crit and hit chance be changed to a rating instead of a flat percentage? I don't know. Maybe. Yes, no. I don't know. I'm not sure how that would work, so I'm just going to put no. Should casters have a base stat, intellect, or something else that directly gives them spell power, like how strength gives attack power? Sure. Should Classic Plus have the ability to reforge your gear, reducing one stat to gain another stat? That could be a good gold sink. So, possibly. Mechanics. Don't know. Not sure. How many layers? What version of layers? No, I'm not sure. How would you feel if spell batching were in Classic Plus? No opinion. How do you feel about the measures taken by Blizzard to prevent boosting within dungeons? Keep it true to the original game. Let players boost. I like the idea of them, but not the ones that Blizzard has implemented. Actually, kind of both. Like, it's a natural thing. Like, when I first started playing, I got to level 10, and my high level paladin friend took me into Dead Mines and showed me what dungeons were. And some random mage asked me if I wanted him to run me through Dead Mines later. Like, sure. So I just got a random free Dead Mines run from this random mage, and I just gave him all the cloth. So it's a natural thing, but it's kind of overdone with all the botting and whatnot and gold buying. Plus, like in original Classic, like I got to level 24 on a druid, roughly. Went back to retail for an arena season, came back, and that was when everyone was just it was just all boosting. That was all. You could just almost never get into a dungeon. So maybe they could think of different ways to implement it. Plus, like, on a high level character, you want to be able to just go in and solo something for farming wool cloth or something. But now instead it's like, oh, everything's stunning me because I took too long. Or everything's teleporting to me because of something. I don't know. They need all they have just make it so it doesn't do experience or something. Hang on, I'll be right back. That would. How do you feel about mercy? Yeah. I actually somewhat came up with a system for it, but I don't know how well people would like it. So a paladin, it could be like. It's kind of like the anime. What was it called? Crap, I can't think of what it was called. Yeah, that was it. Like, boosting in a dungeon should kind of be like Goblin Slayer, the anime. Like, this higher level adventure is just teaching you the mechanics of a dungeon, potentially. But also they can go in and farm low level stuff. But we don't want to put it to where that's just what everyone always does. So maybe put it to where they just get significantly reduced XP, but it doesn't mess with mob pathing and mechanics and whatnot. Or change the EXP to rested experience. So this higher level person is showing you the ropes, how to not die in a dungeon, and it gives you more rested experience. That could be a way how it's done. Change all the experience to rested experience. So you get your. So then you have to go out and level with the rested experience, and if you want, you can get a boost through a dungeon and get all your rested EXP back. I don't know. I feel like that could be a potential solution. Or just get rid of the EXP gained. But don't mess with the dungeon. How would you feel if mobs scale with your level in the open world? Possibly, but probably not. Excuse me. maybe, but I'd say probably not. How do you feel about the various currencies in the World of Warcraft? There are too many. Keep currencies limited. Currencies are important for horizontal progression. Use them when you need to. That sounds like a good idea to me. Maybe. Okay. What versions of consumables? Hold on. Okay. What versions of consumables would you want to see in Classic Plus? Oh. Either a flask or guardian battle elixir, not both. Keep it limited. Keep it how it is. Maybe make more of them. Maybe make more accessible. Just whatever. If you can do it, do it. I don't know. Should Classic Plus increase the view distance of enemy nameplates from a vanilla range of 20 yards? Enemy nameplates? Is that like for PvP? Is that for PvP where you can see people farther away? What if someone's hiding in something and you just see their nameplate? I don't know. Yes and no? No opinion. I don't really know. I like weapon skill. It's kind of fun to just go out and just hit stuff, and you're learning how to. It's an RPG. You're going out and you're learning how to use your weapon. But after the 400th time, you know, people might not want to do it. The system. Achievements, economy, leveling, mechanics. What's leveling? Oh, is this how you... Oh, so this is how you're doing your posts. Okay. Survey, home. Oh, content. The player. Get started. High-level player topics like factions. Ooh, what is this? Professions. Achievable wall. Compared to later. Okay. Factions. Hairstyles. Racial should focus on flavor and quality. Utility and quality of life. Letting players choose races for lore. Okay. This is just what people are... So here's the content, the world. Okay. This is what everyone's posting and stuff. Or is this something that people can post in? Showing up to 25 pins. Double click to add a post. Ooh. So this is where you can add stuff. Okay. So let's go back. Wait. Okay. Let's go to Duratar. Valley of Trials. Oh, nope. Can I zoom in? Oh, expanded. Oh, I forgot about this. Dungeon started more. That's a good place for a starter dungeon, too. That's a good one. What is this? Is the negative 58 the 50 People don't like the lower level dungeons. Why? I mean, that gives people more stuff to do. All right. What is it? How do I word it? How do I word it? Introduction to dungeons in the starting zone. Is it called the starting zone? Okay, yeah, the starting zone. So I had this idea for SOD when they announced phased leveling and hoped they started out at level 10. Okay. Stalker? Is that it? Stalker. Wow. No, that's not what I'm... Yeah. What was the guy that dropped the thing? That's not it. Trying to remember that last quest. Oh crap. I misspelled that. Is that right? I don't know. Comes a dungeon quest. So I can make the cave in the north the starting zone a low-level dungeon with an imp boss, Felsiglos. Dungeon quest. Final boss. Retail made the new player starting experience, but with their original zones, starter zones. Yeah. Dungeon. This might be better way. Another sod. Okay, level 10. Cap fixed. Alright, and submit. Cool. Well, I did this, so I did the survey and did one thing, so I'm gonna end it there. I'll try to do better at making content and all that. So, adios.